Welcome back, crew, to Boats vs. Haulover, where man and machine take on Mother Nature, usually a beautiful Haulover Inlet, but today we are visiting Bokeh, and we've got our first boat coming out of the day, and it's gonna be a Boston whaler. And our cap looks pretty solid. He's got the boat up on plane, keeping that bow high, letting it do the work. And right here we can see he's gotten offshore. He winds up flexing a little bit because he feels like he's taking it down in one and but he's leaving the helm. This one I definitely don't recommend. My guy out here trying to shoot a reel for Instagram or TikTok has left the helm on a fairly rough day at Bokeh, and this one's just asking for trouble. He could fall on the deck, fall overboard, or worse yet, it's a busy inlet. Another boat could come rolling through and completely mess him up. Right here you can see he's not even really looking, standing up there in the bow. This is just a horrible plan, and for that, I'm actually going to go ahead and give him the loss, even though he made it out. And that's going to bring us to the second round of our competition, with Bokeh going up 1-0 after the first round mistake by our crew. But here in the second round, the boats are going to toss a cigarette in the ring to see if they can go ahead and get back on the board. And here we go, one of those full send caps. They've got this one up on plane, laying into the throttle, trying to keep the bow high. But you can see here, man, it is a rough day here at Bokeh. We've got white caps, we've got breakers, everybody's getting everything thrown at them. But honestly, this crew looks really sharp. They're getting some air as they work their way in. Cap really lays into it here at the end and winds up taking a win for the boats here in the second round. And that'll push us on to the third round of our competition. We are now tied at 1 apiece. And here in the third round, the boats are going to toss a Saturn in the ring to see how it can fare. And here we go, our crew, third round, getting it started. And man, this one could get ugly. This is a small boat, barely any freeboard whatsoever, and we've got the ladies in the bow, and I don't think they, well, at least the ladies, I don't believe they know what they're about to get into. But here we can see them heading offshore, and this boat is getting absolutely smacked around. Now, with it being an inflatable, it's probably going to be a little hard to actually take a wave over the bow, but you can tell here, they're in breakers, and this boat really doesn't like it, and I have to imagine that the ladies aren't going to be so thrilled about this one, as you can see by the look on some of their faces right here, as they're decided to come back in. Now, unfortunately for this crew, they're coming back in. So in other words, they went ahead and made it that patented bokeh U-turn and decided there's no reason to be out here on this day. We're just going to bring it back in and take this thing over to the sandbar. And unfortunately for that, they are going to wind up taking the L here, but I mean, look at the girl in the pink's face. She's just wide open mouth, like, what the heck are we doing out here? And I got a feeling whichever one of these guys is with her is not going to be in for a fun evening tonight. But this crew does make it back in safely, but unfortunately they wind up taking the loss since they came back in. That's going to bring us to the fourth round of our contest. Bokeh is now up 2-1, and here in the fourth round, the boats are going to toss a Key West in the ring to go ahead and try and get this one tied back up. And here we go again, man. It is just crazy how rough it is down here today. There you can see the boat just a few moments ago, tucked in behind the waves. You almost lose the entire gunnel. The hull just disappears on this vessel, and all you can see is the top of the tower. That'll give you an idea just how big it actually is down here today. This one is struggling just a little bit. They're trying to do what they can to try and post up on a wave and not let the wave behind them catch up, because if it does, it's going to lift that stern up and they're going to be in trouble. But our crew's working their way in. Cap probably really needs to get on the throttle a little bit on this one, and there we go. He punches it now, forces his way in, and this crew right here, one more wave, and they're going to be good to roll, and they'll wind up taking a win for the boats here in the fourth round. And that's going to bring us to the fifth and final round of our competition. We are now tied at 2 apiece. Who will wind up taking the win in this episode? Will it be Bokeh Inlet or the boats? Let's find out, and this is not good. This is not how the boats wanted to close this one out. So we're going to end this one out with a personal watercraft, but unfortunately, our crew is already in the drink. So they're trying to do what they can to get back up on the ski. They're tossing stuff up there, which is what I would recommend to do. If you got things in your hand, get it out of your hand. Just get it tossed up there so you can focus on just trying to get back up and get on the ski. But they've got to watch out. They are here in the middle of the inlet. We've still got the rocks on both sides. And as you can see, as we're witnessing it, this ski is actually drifting toward those rocks. And our guy's struggling, but he's finally able to get up and onto the ski. And then our girl, it's just her turn now. So she's still tossing stuff up there. But now they've gotten themselves into a pickle as they're super close to the rocks. He's got to get this thing started. I don't care that she's not in the ski. You've got one option here. Start the ski up, and you've either got to move out of the inlet or at least move away from the rocks, because if you get the ski on the rocks, it's likely going to get stuck there, but you also risk injury at that point in time, as one of you could get pinned between the rocks and the ski as well. So there we go. It looks like he's doing just that. He's got it started, and hopefully we'll at least get them out of the way. But this has been going on for a while now. As you can see, we're jumping forward a little bit here, but this crew has been in the water for several minutes, and our girl, she looks done. Her effort to try and get on the ski has kind of weaned away, as all of a sudden, it doesn't look like she has the energy to pull it off anymore, as our guy is really struggling to even have to keep her with the ski, let alone trying to get on it, especially in these seas. I mean, it's a lot more difficult than it looks, especially if you're somebody who's never had to do this before. And then calculate the fact that we've got 4 to 6 foot seas out here as well, just amplifies how difficult this one is. Now, after several minutes, much longer than that actually, they've been out there for about 15 minutes at this point in time, finally the lifeguard on the beach notices that they are in trouble, and they go ahead and start to launch a rescue ski to come out and attempt to help them out on this one. And you can see here, she's still trying to get on, but she just can't do it for some reason. And here we go, rescue ski is on the way and working its way out to try and help this crew out. So 2 lifeguards racing out to the scene now. And I'm curious if they're going to try and help her get back on, or if they're just going to go ahead, load her up on the board, and bring her in. So they're pulling up beside her. Lifeguard's probably telling her to let go of that ski. And they're going to have to swing over and pick her up. So I'm assuming with this method here, they're just going to get her on the board and either bring her into the beach or bring her into the inlet. And it doesn't look like the life jacket's helping here. I mean, it's helping her float, but it doesn't look like it fits correctly, which is probably even wearing her out more as she was trying to get on there, because she's having to probably still keep herself supported to stay above the water. So the lifeguards got her locked in, and they're gonna get her out of here. And it looks like, I thought they would probably just take her to the beach, but instead it looks like they're actually gonna run her in Bokeh Inlet so the jet skier can actually pick her up. I was curious how that one was gonna work, or if she was gonna wind up being stuck over there on the beach while her buddy was still out on the ski. But as you can tell on this one, this is a pretty easy call. This is a loss for the boats. Things did not go as planned, and unfortunately that means the boats are gonna wind up taking a loss in this episode. But thanks for watching, crew. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Boats vs. Haulover. If you did, please check out our other content. We have Wavy Boats, who does a bunch of great things down at the inlets. My channel, Broncos Guru, does some great comedy boating videos there as well. And of course, we've got the Miami Boat Ramps channel that focuses on all the hilarity that happens at the boat ramps in South Florida. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.